Hello, BAME farm fans. Well, the combine looks a little different. This was our late winter, early spring, mid-spring, all-spring project. It's a down corn reel. Finally, we have one of these. I've been kind of wanting one for years. However, 40 years ago when this thing was new, apparently they didn't have down corn. Something. I don't know. So there was never a down corn reel designed specifically for this head. Yep, there's some more green paint. Blech. Now this, we didn't quite manufacture all of this ourselves. I mean, you can tell this came from a John Deere grain table. Somebody else had already made the reel part. The whole front section here was already in use by a farm that was picking popcorn. And unfortunately, it's hard to find 4-row wide anything, which is good and bad. It's difficult to find, say, but also not necessarily the most desired, so it can be low cost. It started out as a 6-row narrow, because you can tell where the paddle arms used to be, and we shortened it down, cut the tube, welded it back, and we made it to fit 4 rows wide. Now a lot of the reels will mount back along the main beam of the head, right back here. This one's a little different. We kind of use a little bit of action on the side somehow. We had to modify the fenders on the edge. I'm not thrilled about that. Hopefully you can see we have this big chunk of bar stock bolted to this, we'll call back wall of the head. It is a slow mechanical adjustment. That's how it was. I guess hydraulic would be nice, but we haven't had a reason to lift it up or down yet. We left it in place, and it does a much better job than I would with a hoe because it's not me doing it. Now, this is hydraulic drive. That poses a fun problem. Real fun. Because the grain table for this is mechanical drive with a variable speed pulley set that is hydraulically adjustable. So this is the most creative part to this project. Getting the whole front end mounted, I don't know, maybe took 2 days. The hydraulics, that was the challenging part. So what do we have? If we can see this, a 3.5 horse Briggs motor. That is fairly new for an older designed lawnmower engine, but it was on a log splitter. Yes, so we're still using the log splitter reservoir. This was a cute little log splitter that weighed 150 pounds. You could pick it up by yourself and roll it around onto lawnmower wheels. It was a tiny guy, brand new. The guy who sold it only used it for 2 hours and realized how annoying it was working on the ground because it sat so low. So he sold it. But there was another fellow in the area who had, I don't know, multiple of these units for sale, because they must have been in like a storage room or whatever, storage things that nobody had used, and they were brand new in 1983, never used. Now it's got some Houston dust on it. Ready to go to the field?
Ready to go.
Now we know it works because unfortunately you missed out on using it on a few acres. It does rake things in. So there's no mystery. It works, it runs. As long as we have, you can see in the cab, we've got our gallon can of gas to keep putting in it, keep it fueled up. Maybe a tank full gets about an hour. And then a gallon will last multiple hours. So we're burning a bit more gas to make this work. Unfortunately, figuring out where else to put an extra hydraulic pump. If we look real close, I mean it's a cute little pump about the size of my fist down here. We can run this about midway up the throttle. Doesn't have to be wide open. We don't need the flow. In fact, the flow is so well set we don't have to have any flow control. We use the valve because it's here just to make some connections. And we got lucky. We didn't have to buy any extra hydraulic connections. Everything from the reel to the splitter parts with the same size and thread. The only real big modification was shortening the fenders for this to fit. And we had to make the adjustment a little longer with the U-hooks. I can't think of the name of those right now. Clevises. We had to get some clevises to add a few inches. But it runs, it works, so we're going to go to the field to get the last of our corn on May 1st. Oh yeah, we're in the lead, right? First ones in the northern corn belt to harvest corn this time of year. We're beating everybody, right? Planted corn, it's been so rainy that it grew so fast. I wish that's how it worked. It's still super rainy. I haven't really thought about much tillage yet because I'm just going to go out and play in the mud if I do. Another fun side note, Bandit loves to point this out. The mud, turn your tires blue. Well, it looks like Dad's ready to roll. We'll catch everybody over at the field. We made it to the field for the first dump. I had to go out and check. Well, I checked air pressure on the wagons. The picker is still here. Just never got it back, unfortunately. Well, let's pull up, see what this corn looks like. Yeah, we fed the critters. This field will be in beans this year, though hopefully isn't too much succotash corn to deal with. Drive right underneath the auger. Hopefully I didn't get too close. I got a little close. I closed the door before we left. Bring the corn. Well, that's a nice bird's nest. Oh, let's go clean that out. Or not. Woo! The wind blew all this stuff right in my face. Now there's some bees' wings. It's maybe not as bright yellow as it would be if it was, say, November, December corn, but I wouldn't say it's too hatefully dirty. Some of the stuff that Dad shelled at home was a little uglier, but that corn had also been downed while it was green. This stuff probably blew down in November, December. We had tons of rain, tons of wind, terrible weather. That's a big chunk of cob. That was flowing in by the straw chopper. Woo! Well, the good news is he's full, and there's still corn, so there's still more corn to get. Reel's still running, reel's still going. Get the pull start set up, nice idle, slowly going along. This will be real safe. I don't know if you saw that, but it has some power behind it. That one might have to see its doctor. Don't know how long it's been up. We haven't been at this for 4 hours yet. And I don't know, every once in a while that paddle does seem a little close to that row. Depends on where we are on a hill, so it will lean downhill. So yep, it's running, just kind of a nice idle there, not have to run it all out. Rather convenient speed, it's working out very well. So as soon as Dad gets done dumping corn, oh yeah, the wind's not blowing as much anymore. Now it's blowing some more. Yeah, well, what's feeding a few more critters at this rate? It's not worth much anyways, unfortunately. The price has gone up a little bit of recent, and the local elevator, at least yesterday, was only 2 pennies below Board of Trade, which is pretty good basis. Well, it's in action. The reel might be timed a little slow for the ground speed. It's fairly close, I think. But it's doing the work I would have to do with the hoe. Just enough to grab it a little bit. With the ground being soft, the roots are turning. The stalks aren't breaking too much. And it's just enough to keep pushing everything back in. I mean, we're taking a fair amount of stock in. And we're cleaning it out. Woo! But yeah, we tried the bean head out on this, and it just wasn't going well. Too much material all at once. This gives the head a chance to pull some of it out, Every once in a while it does full circle. I'm not wild about the paddles at the end. Most reels are just a straight arm with like a little bend backwards. So the paddle is a little aggressive, but it works. I'm going to try not to skip over too much corn stalks while walking and talking. I'd say the reel, it's doing its job. I'm happy with it. It's saving me a lot of pain out front. And it's not perfect, but thanks to that ear corn you saw me pick, it helped made up for the corn that we didn't quite get at here. I think this direction we do better at picking it up because it slightly leans back in the head versus when we're heading back the other way in the field. So yeah, other than the fact that it's May 1st, I think we're doing pretty good with our reel. We'll be ready for next year. That's been sitting there a while. Break that ugly stuff off the end. I think it stayed in. Here's another ear. That's a little damp. Let's not throw that in. Woo. Yeah, we might see some corn in spots. It's all a salvage mission now. But we're getting what we get with what we got. There could be worse things. Maybe, I don't know. We're not flooded like they are in places. Some like small towns in Iowa and Nebraska, I feel sorry for them, still being flooded. We'll see the power drive side. I think that we are outrunning the reel a little bit, but it's doing just enough. It's a push every once in a while, and it clears it and eats all that material. See if I can't get run over. It is very windy today. There's a slight bunch, and it helps shove it back up the road unit. Not too much is building over the tips. That's because it also pulls it in. I mean, you don't think it does much until you don't have one. And we have not used a down corn reel when it would be nice to have one often enough, but I can tell that it does just enough, that little bit. You'd be surprised. Hey, we lost a row there. Well, we're back here. Now we see everything that's falling down. That's because it's being thrown back. I mean, there's supposed to be a guard in front of it, but it's also throwing all those corn cobs back down. That's why we saw that big corn cob earlier. Everybody shield your eyes. Well, we might as well show some more of this. Just because we can. I don't plan on doing it often. Now we're going to have to dig the corn out of the mustard and the wild canola. I only see a few of the wild rape seeds out there, which I figured out where them things are coming from. This, right here. Wild rapeseed, wild canola. And it's been used as a cover crop. I'm sure birds ate it, or the wind caught the seed, and the birds pooped it out, or the seed fell out of the wind, and now it's here. It's going to go to seed, so free cover crops or weeds. And there's plenty of the wild mustard going out there. Now we see we got a good flow of stuff for the reel to push in. It's pushing it back good. But some of this is standing a little bit, and that helps. Some of it isn't standing well. Now why isn't it standing well? It's not too many broken stalks. Where it's down, the stalks are straight. And someone's going to say it's not a good rooting variety. Well, it never had to go very far. When you look at this, it's down, and it turned at the roots. stock's nice and stiff. Yeah, you want me to... Jeez. Urgh. Could whip somebody in the back of the knees with it. Yeah, someone's going to say it's a bad rooting variety. One that doesn't have to put down roots to find water. It doesn't matter how good of a rooting variety it is. It just doesn't put down roots because it doesn't have to. Water is right there, and then it was mushy all winter. Oh, gather a couple more ears on the ground. Ooh, that one's ugly. At least the combine's the opposite of the field, a little bit of green and some yellow, lots of yellow, a little bit of green. I bet there's not many 7-cylinder combines out there. 6 plus 1 for the lawnmower engine. Let's go check on it. It's running. It's a running. Nice, gentle, high idle. Not full out. Little vibratory, but that's just a single cylinder engine. Hard to balance one cylinder firing. Now you see the reel? See a little bit of a bunch there. It comes around, it's going to push it right back. Just enough. Woo! Now at least next year we'll have this in whenever we harvest. If we ever get planting done. If it ever stops raining, whenever that might be. Yeah, it's also a little squishy. Yeah, woo! Nice tire to the rescue. Now we didn't pick up that corn very well. Well, while we're here on the machine, take a look in the grain tank. That's not too hateful. I mean, there's some tiny chunks of cob, which, given the time of year, the cobs will be very brittle by now. But it's not too hateful. Seems passable to me. Still smells like corn. I didn't bring the moisture tester, but I'll hazard to guess it's 12, 13 or so. It's not totally on the ground to give it extra moisture. Woo, reverse. If you haven't noticed, this back end of the field right here is a little less than dry. Yep, it's wet. And this is all sloping down to a low spot that drains out. Woo, got some bees wings in my eyeballs. You guys are seeing more than I can right now. Now if you look at it from the sky, it looks utterly abysmal. Nice high-up view up here. We'll close the door for a better view for a second. But with the stuff growing up here, it's hard to tell there's much corn out here. Of course, that cover crop isn't doing much for footing. We are digging in a little bit. Yeah, last fall I was seriously looking at how do I find tracks for this thing, or any combine on tracks. Which is conveniently in Arkansas for the rice, exorbitantly expensive, or just doesn't exist. So we're crawling along through the mud here for a second. Time for a backup, get a fresh run at it. Clean. Most of the backing up does is clean the mud out of between the bars, so we go forward, we have fresh, empty bars to fall back in, and we're back on top. I didn't expect this to be a pretty video. It's not necessarily a video on the top of my list, but it's a video. It's a video. Woo! So, who else have we seen out harvesting? If my phone's still working, I can find a picture of somebody out with their John Deere about a week ago. In between rains. The only good news is we got lots of wind to dry it out right before it rains again. It's supposed to be rain coming out of the south. Of course, Illinois, Indiana, Missouri, up to Mississippi is getting pounded. The good news is it's not getting to us yet. However, that means it's moving slow. So when it gets here, I should just start building an ark. So I'm kind of imagining a little bit of Bill Cosby with his Noah skit, where if anybody's heard that, it's a well-aged skit. Just imagining Bill Cosby as God saying, Noah, and then Bill Cosby's also Noah, and he's answering, what? Oh, that was my worst Bill Cosby impression ever. Ha ha. Woo. Ha. It's a little dry up here, a little windy. Well, I think it's time for a dump. We almost got it covered. No point in going through the wet spot too heavy. That's not helping us out. Yum yum. Cows will eat it. Chickens will eat it. So yep, May 1st. That is setting a new all-time low. It's going to be a hard one to beat. I thought we were doing pretty bad with March corn harvest last year, and then before that it only ever been February 14th. But in the last 5 years I've doubled the number of acres that we cover. I rent about 100, and then Dad covers about 100 acres between vegetables, corn, and beans, and then between the two of us, we bale about 50 acres of hay. Just need enough to feed the cows, and then whatever's left over ends up feeding other people's animals, most likely. The good news is, this is our second dump, there's still more corn there, and more corn there, so that means there's more corn to be had. So the bad news is, there's a lot of down corn to deal with. However, it's more golden grain. I guess he's going to pull around front. The 1086 now has air conditioning. Hopefully you guys got that. It means we took the doors off. I'm going to leave those side windows on just in case I get caught in the rain. There's a little bit of protection. Let's see, by now you should have seen the 2+2 video. We'll have that. And if it stays wet like this, I'm going to be glad to have it, especially for chisel plowing. Disking. Supposedly those things are they say they're light-footed, right? I'm going to test that out to the max. I am kind of in the way of the window right now. I am sorry, Dad. Yeah, we're going to test out a 2+2's light-footedness. So we've got more horsepower for the same size implements right now. I haven't found that disc I want to spend money on. I don't necessarily plan on getting a bigger chisel plow anytime soon. I figured we could go faster. So we will see tillage whenever it dries out. By the time you guys see it, it'll be plenty late. Yes, we are 3 weeks behind on editing, and I think it's just gonna be a permanent fact for a while on that delay. Don't wanna keep everybody living too up to date, I guess. Gotta have that editing time. I really should get out of the way so Dad can see. Oh, hello, little motor. Yeah, brand new 1983. Well, this will be a marathon of a video. Unfortunately, I think I shut the camera off as I shut the motor off. Oh, it's a little low on fuel. As we unload the next wagon, we'll dump some fuel in it, because our gas can's right here. Now, feeling the reservoir, we have obviously a tiny reservoir. The reservoir is not hot. Don't burn your fingers. I wouldn't even say it's, it's actually kind of cold hot chocolate. It'd be very disappointing in the winter. So the good news is, I guess we don't need too much more reservoir. I mean, it's not like it's working hard, constantly pushing, but it does just a little bit of work and saves me a lot of headache. Now, if you're short, this could be difficult, but everything is right at, say, chest level to fill up. A little bit more gas. Come on. Okay, we are full. Good news is when we lift it up, we'll tip back. That's not the cap. We'll tip back and it won't come out the cap on us. Now, sitting 30 years didn't make that screw on any easier. Well, that's a pretty good full load. I think we're going to go ahead and put this in the bin. We thought about leaving it in the wagon in case it was extra ugly. And it's not too hateful. Obviously, turn on the fan. We got a bunch of bees wings blowing out. That comes with age. They're a little bit more loose now. You know, it's been an extra 3-4 months. Time flies when the weather sucks, doesn't it? Another rainy day to check off the list. I think we'll probably be able to make one more dump, and then I'll take a couple wagons back. Hopefully that wagon will be enough to keep Dad busy. I won't really have time to unload those. I'll run them back and get a couple more wagons, and we'll unload after dark or something. I should have brought more. Unless I run one wagon back, unload it, and bring bring another wagon back with it. All the options, all the options. Of course, as soon as I do that, it could start raining. It's supposed to rain tonight for probably 3 days straight. We're already halfway through our yearly average of rain, which means the spring is a little wet. So we'll just keep getting soaked. I really should think about planting rice. We're not behind yet. That's the problem with all the social media stuff. You see everybody else is in a different climate area, doing something way before you ever could, so you get ants in your pants. We're not late yet. It won't be late until it's June, and even then, there's been some years where we haven't planted corn until June 9th, and didn't finish beans until July 4th. It's not something I like to do, but it happens. Now, let's see how easy. I think it was set midway. See how easy it starts. How fast did you have it running?
Maybe about there.
Okay.
I look back a little bit
There.
A little bit more.
What?
A little faster.
Not there.